Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. I have Edward, Paul, and Max here, arranged in some kind of way. So we got to talk about the upcoming Southampton match coming up this Saturday. So it's a preview. That's what it is. So they've played one match. They drew with it. Drew 0-0 with Burnley. Pretty even match. So Max has already done an opposition view on with Southampton. So Max, do you want to talk a little bit about Southampton, and then we'll talk about their possible danger men?
Well, if you cast your minds back to last season, our last home game of last season was Southampton, and if you've got a memory that serves you right, they battered us that game. They got a man sent off in the last 5 minutes, and we were really fortunate, Tom Davies, in the last minute to peg them back one and grab the draw. It was it shook Southampton because they really needed the result, and they had a midweek clash against Swansea, which was kind of the winner gets themselves clear and free of any kind of relegation worries. Obviously, they went on to win that, and what I found was quite interesting with Southampton over the summer is they made the decision to stick with Mark Hughes. Obviously, they brought him in a similar situation in which we brought Allardyce in, and those types of managers get tarred with the same brush. Allardyce, Hughes, Pulis, Pardew, the type of managers that I'm talking about. But having said that, I think they've had quite a good summer. They got rid of Dusan Tadic, and they brought in numbers, but numbers in quality. Stuart Armstrong from Celtic. They've got a lad who played in the Champions League for Bâle. Brought in Danny Ings as well from Liverpool, which is a bit of a weird transfer to loan to a permanent. But I haven't mentioned Yannick Vestergaard as well, who, if you're familiar with German football, he's an absolute beast. I think he's something like 6'7" at the back and wins everything. So I think they've had a really good summer. And of course, first home game for Everton this season. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to the game.
So probable starters are looking at McCarthy, Hote, Vestergaard, Stevens, Bertrand, Lamina, Romeu, Cedric, Suarez, Redmond, Armstrong, and then probably, Charlie Austin or Ings. You might see Gabbiadini. Who knows? Dangerman, I know immediately I look at that lineup and I think Redmond, just because he is a live wire. Ward-Prowse is somebody who can put a legitimate set piece. He plays a really good ball. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of spots where I point to that and I think, that's a concern. Edward, where are your concerns, do you think?
I think really it's going to be, because obviously, I saw both fixtures last season, and the thing that really, really got us when we went there was with the aerial ball. And I think if Austin does play, he's going to be the main target and the main danger for us, especially if Keane isn't on his game. Because like we've been saying, one mistake and it's complete meh for their defence. So I think we need to be on our game, and especially needing of some good centre backs, because if Austin plays, they're just going to be swinging in balls left, right, and centre, especially with Ward-Prowse in as well.
Max, Edward, I'll go ahead and reiterate. I literally wrote Austin in the air because I remembered last season, and I thought about the fact that those balls that Keane just tends to kind of lose track of the players that are in his area. May not always be his fault, but he just happens to be the one who's almost closest to the player, I feel like, almost every time. Max, your biggest concern?
I don't think Southampton have quite got the star power that they have had in recent years. Obviously, a lot of those players have kind of jumped off and went to Liverpool. Pretty much the players that you listed, Gerry, Redmond, Ward-Prowse, they're capable of causing damage, but I don't think they are players that will, be decisive in single moments that change the game. I know for certain Southampton fans aren't confident coming into this. They haven't won at Goodison in a very long time, and this is really our occasion for the taking. Right time, right place to kick off the campaign and keep up with the good home form.
Paul, you have any concerns or worries about this?
Yeah, one or two. I mean, as we've mentioned players like Charlie Austin, when he's fully fit and he can get him service, then he is good for a goal. Ings has scored at Goodison Park before. I think the only goal he ever scored for Liverpool was against us. And if he starts or he gets a certain amount of minutes, he'll be fired up to want to prove to Southampton that, what they've bought and getting him. Redmond is a player who gets talked about a lot, but looking at stats the other day that I read, he only scored 1 goal all of last season. And he
wasn't that against us?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Was that down there? Oh, isn't that Everton, isn't it? So yeah, he scored 1 goal all last season. So maybe, as Edward says, he's due his goal again. But yeah, Redmond's a player with pace. But hopefully, with our new looks back four, we'll be okay with it. I mean, I can see Zuma coming in. Obviously, Jags is banned, but I can see him throwing Zuma in over Holgate. So hopefully we'll be okay at the back. I'm not going to lie. I would be very disappointed if we don't win this comfortably. I can see us bowling these over. Or we should bowl these over because these are not a great team. They've strengthened a little bit in the summer, but this is a team who've got a manager who I don't rate at all. I think he'll be gone by Christmas. I'm really confident going into this. And if we don't win this and we don't win it comfortably, then I think everyone will come back a bit back down to earth a little bit after last week. So I can see us winning this. I can see us putting quite a few goals past them as well. And I will be very, very annoyed if they score a goal past us, particularly if it's an avoidable goal. So I really don't think there's anything to fear from the Southampton team. I really don't. Vault this if I'm wrong, but I'm really, really confident here.
It's interesting. I'm not as concerned about Hughes as a manager, which kind of, I feel like it takes a little bit of the sting. But when I look at this lineup, I think there's talent there. I mean, they've got a center mid combination with Lamina and Romeu. Those are solid center mids. And then the thing that I look at when I look at this, Bertrand on one and Suarez on the other, that's some speed on the wings. And Baines, for everything that he is, and believe me, he's like my favorite Everton player, he's not super fast. So I do worry about them coming in on the flanks, coming in and being able to beat our guys with speed. But I agree with you, Paul. I think we're going to win this. I do. I mean, my prediction for this is a 2-0 Everton win. That's my prediction. So, Max, your prediction?
2 on the Blues.
All right. Paul?
3-0.
I was waiting for Paul to go 6. We're putting 6 past.
I can see it being 3-0. If we don't keep a clean sheet against them, then I really think then the defenders who are playing will have a lot to answer for. Whether that's Baines, whether that's Keane, whether that's Holgate, Zuma. This is a game we really, really should be keeping a clean sheet in. So I could see a comfortable 3-0.
Edward, prediction?
Joe, I think we're gonna have a first on the Toffee Blues where my head and my heart are the same thing. I'm gonna say 3-0. I genuinely reckon we can get some damage on this, especially if they play the likes of these shoddy, in a sense, defenders and that. I know Vestergaard is quite the beast, but Richarlison running rings around him, I can actually see happening. So, yeah.
So that's it for our Southampton preview. We're all seeing a win, which doesn't happen often. Positivity. Yeah, It's a new era.
Oh my God, what's that?
Yeah. Fingers crossed we're still feeling that way after Saturday. So if you're digging the videos, please subscribe. Thank you very much. We have just surpassed 1,000 subs. So now we're chugging along toward 1,100. Thank you. Sincerest thanks to you. We just really appreciate it. Yeah. I literally can't say thanks enough. So if you want to see these gentlemen in other locations other than here, Edward's got his own channel, Jam E James. Details are below. It's everything Everton. Paul can be found both on the Liverpool Echo fan jury, but also on the Toffee Blues website. All right, he does analysis there, so you can check out his pieces, as well as Max. Max has a lot of analysis on the Toffee Blues website, and he was just on not only Talk Sport but also the Canary and Blue podcast. So yeah, these guys, yeah, they work, and that's it. So, bye.